Morning, friends. It is Friday, November 6th already. Like, how is it already November? I don't understand.
There'll be nothing left for no one.
I woke up late this morning. I woke up at like 6:30, but I slept until 8:30. Like, I woke up and started reading a little bit of my book, and then I slept again until 8:30. And I normally don't do that, but usually if I'm like still tired sitting in bed, normally I'm very awake and I wake up right away. If I'm still tired, I know my body kind of needs it. So I slept in a little, and then I went for my morning walk. This morning I woke up at 6:30 and I like weighed myself, and I was a little bit above what I normally am, just because I did go out to eat last night. I had an untracked meal. I don't remember the last time I had an untracked meal. Usually if I want something, I fit it into my macros, or I figure out a way to like allocate my food and then pretty much make whatever I want fit into my macros for the day. But it was my friend's birthday. We went out to this really nice restaurant. There was a lot of like options to choose from, and I knew that if I attempted to track, it would have been complicated and stressful. So I knew it was going to be probably a little more complicated and stressful than it would have been if I did just not track it. And I allocated my calories throughout the day. I pretty much had like a salad, I had a smoothie bowl with just protein on it, and then I had like cauliflower oatmeal in the morning. And I had an amazing time, and I didn't track my food, and I probably went over a little bit, but like, because I've been tracking.
Turn right onto South Bundy Drive.
Excuse me, Siri, I am vlogging here. She's so rude. Because I track so consistently, I kind of know at this point that if I go over a little bit one day, or I don't hit my macros perfectly one day, I'm not going to die. My progress is not going to be affected by it. If you're doing that consistently, yeah, your progress is probably going to be affected by it. If you just started tracking your macros a week ago, what makes you think that you can just not track every other day of the week? Like, if you haven't seen progress yet and you're still looking to see that progress, and you decided to commit to macro tracking, like I said in other vlogs, like, no, it's not totally necessary to track your macros if you want to see progress. That's just the most efficient way to do it, I think. Regardless, I woke up, my progress wasn't affected. After I slept in a little bit, my weight actually like went down a little bit more because it was later in the day and I slept a little bit more. But regardless, I was really happy that I decided to do that. I usually don't do that and go out of my comfort zone of my little macro tracking world. So that was a really fun thing to do. And now I'm headed to get my lash extensions done. I'm so excited. I've been watching Emily's vlogs, Emily Duncan. I have a couple other friends who have eyelash extensions, and I've been like completely debating for like months now whether or not I should get them. So I'll let y'all know how it goes. I'm excited. Okay, hi. These are the lashes. Show you guys. I'm sort of obsessed with them. Oh my god, they're so long. It looks like I have fake lashes on right now, but I guess that's the whole point. But they're pretty natural looking, I think. Like, they don't look like, wow, she has fake eyelashes on or anything. They did such a good job. The process itself is like a little irritating because they put tape on your lower lashes so they don't stick to the glue on the upper lashes, because they glue each eyelash on individually. I had my eyes closed for like 2 hours, and that was the longest I've had my eyes closed during the day in like a long time, unless I was sleeping. So the process is a little irritating because like the tape kind of like stuck to, like I felt it on the inside of my eye, so it hurt a little bit. They're a little bit red, but so worth it. Oh my god. Just gonna like be taking a million selfies from now on. But if anyone is in the LA Santa Monica area, I'll tell you guys where I went to get mine done. They actually only cost me $100. I've heard of like 125, 150, 200 to get like the first set of them, but these people did a great job and it was only 100. I think it's like 40 to get them filled. I love them. I love them. I love them. Hey, maybe I'll get a date at the gym now. Me checking myself out is gonna be a big part of this vlog. Sorry. So pretty and long. So somebody recently asked me to talk about why I moved across the country and how I went about doing that. This flannel sweatshirt thing is from Ross, by the way. I think it was $12. Anyways, so I thought that would be, I don't know how many people are actually interested in hearing about this story, but it's something that really changed my life, and I've got like a few questions about people asking me to talk about this, so I figured it's something quick and easy for me to make a little video on. So during my junior year of college, it was 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago now or so, one of my friends that I was friends with at the time approached me and said, hey, would you ever be interested in moving to California for the summer? And I am from the smallest state in the country, guys. I'm from Rhode Island. Rhode Island is like this little tiny speck on the map. It's much smaller than even LA. It's I don't know if any of you guys have been there, like have heard of it, or even like know where it is on the map, but it's under Massachusetts, right next to Connecticut. It's like a little dot. It's a very small state, and I love it there, and I call it home, and my family's still there. My mom and my sister and my dad are still there. My dog is still there. I lived there my whole entire life. But it's really small, and I felt like I couldn't really grow there, but I didn't know this until I moved away. A lot of people in the state just kind of like all know each other, so getting outside of the state is really hard for a lot of people, and it's really confusing, and it's out of people's comfort zone, and it was out of my comfort zone. So when my friend approached me, I was like, hell freaking no. I was like, I'm not gonna have a job. I'm not gonna be in my comfort zone. It's gonna be really weird. It's gonna be really hard, and like I don't want to do it. And at the time, I was like a very different person than I am now. So I was not about to go outside my comfort zone and make myself financially unstable. I just didn't want to do it. But she eventually convinced me, and she said, let's just apply to a million places. We like sent out an email like to every restaurant in the city. We kind of just like asked around where would be a good place to live, and we really wanted to be by the beach. So we ended up looking at Venice, California, which is where I lived last summer. I live about 10 minutes from there now. I'm a little bit more inland, but we looked around restaurants in the area because we were both waitresses at the time, and we both knew that that's an easy kind of like job to get. So we sent like our pictures with like a paragraph explaining like, hi, I really want to apply for a job. I'm moving in a few months. Do you have any openings? And we only heard back from 2 people, I believe. And one person had a phone interview or a Skype interview with my friend. And they were just like, yeah, like when you come out here, we'll have an interview. And we were like, okay. So we sort of have a job, not really, but sort of. And we just found a place. We looked on like Craigslist, I forget where else we looked, but the place that we ended up moving into was a 2-bedroom apartment. There was 3 of us. It ended up being 4, but there was 3 of us in a 2-bedroom apartment, so a lot of the time like I slept on the couch. We had our interview the first day we got out there. Oh, I forgot to mention that we also drove across the country, my friend and I, from Rhode Island, and we drove to California, Southern California. It took us 3 days. The first day we had a late start, so the first day was 12 hours, the next day was 15 hours, and the last day was an 18-hour drive. And it wasn't that bad. We just kind of drove straight through, and we switched off. The only part that was really awful was nighttime driving, and the road that goes right across the country, I think it's Route 10. It's just like a very straight road, and it's very boring, and there's a lot of trucks, and it's kind of scary. So I would probably not do it again, only if I was going to go to like the Grand Canyon or some other cool places. We didn't end up stopping anywhere because we really just wanted to get there because we had the interview the next day, and we both had like no money. Like I think I went there with $0. I paid my first month's rent in April, and I had to go to Coinstar to get like $30 to finish like buying my food for the rest of the month. And then I like went back home to my waitressing job by the time school was ending, and I just tried to like work a couple more shifts to make like a couple $100 more so I could have like something going out there. So we ended up leaving. I think we got there mid-May, something like that. And then we had an interview the day after we got there by the same person who was like Skyping interviewing her a few months before then. So we had the interview, we both got a job. The other girl that my friend is, we all live together, the three of us. The girl is now my roommate and she now manages that restaurant. So funny how things work out, but it was her cousin. They knew each other. The other two girls, this is getting to be a confusing story. Regardless, I got a waitressing job the day I got there. Last summer I worked 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, sometimes I worked doubles at this restaurant, just so I can make my rent. But I lived in Venice, California. I had a bike. I didn't even have a car the whole time. My two roommates had their cars because one of them drove and the other one had her car too. But I had no car, I had a bike. I bought a used bike for $100. Somebody actually stole my bike seat in the middle of the summer. Not the bike, just the seat. I would go to the gym. I signed up at Gold's Gym Venice, obviously. Like, easily the best decision I've ever made in my whole entire life, because who wouldn't want to, if you're like a meathead like me, who wouldn't want to train at Gold's Gym Venice every single day? And it was a 10-minute bike ride from my house, or my apartment. So I would bike to the gym and I would bike to the beach and I would lay on the beach for like an hour a day or so, and I would come back and shower and like go to work every single day. That's what I did. And by the end of the summer is when I kind of really started like actually making friends with people. It took a little while. I was like alone for a lot of the time, aside from my roommates. I was prepping for a show. I did a show out here last summer, halfway through the summer, and then I had my sister visit and things like that. So it was kind of like a really short period of time that seriously changed my life. I met a lot of amazing people. I formed really good relationships with certain people out here that really just changed my way of thinking, and it just made me realize like there's a lot more to my life that I can't have in Rhode Island. I couldn't continue growing there. So by the time I moved back, it was late August that I had to fly back home, and it was like 40 degrees at home, and I was like, I'm not coming back here. So I finished my last year of my undergrad. I got my nursing degree. I graduated in May, and then the girl that I lived with last year, not the one from home that I drove with, but the other one, her name is Lily. I live with her now in this place, this apartment. My senior year of college, I was a full-time nursing student. I competed in a show in November, and I also was prepping. I started prepping for my second season in March. So I was in prep for most of my senior year. I was waitressing like 2 to 4 times a week, depending on like my week. I could kind of be flexible with my schedule, but I was waitressing so I could save up money so I could comfortably move out here. Do what you have to do what you want to do is what I always say. If there's something that you really truly want to do, like potentially move across the country or do something different or go to school and get an education, or you want to compete in a show, or you want to do anything and you feel like you can't do it because you might not have enough money, or it might be a little risky, it might be a little bit out of your comfort zone, just do it, guys. I didn't want to. Someone had to convince me. It's honestly been like the biggest blessing moving out here. There's so many friends that I would have never met if I didn't move out here. There's so many opportunities that I've had being out here, working with Pardomas, working out at Gold's Gym every single day, networking there, being able to compete, being able to go to fit expos, being able to go to the Olympia because I live out here and I could just drive and not fly. It just makes me like I get kind of emotional thinking about if I never decided to do that, because it seriously changed my life so much, guys. Like, I might not want to live in LA forever, I might not want to live in California forever, but I kind of do. Like, I don't think I could ever go back at this point. I just feel like there's so much more opportunity out here for me to grow as a person and meet different people and do different things, and like, I just want to like keep my availability open to do everything and anything that I want to do. Like I said, I saved up money all year. I graduated, and 2 weeks later I flew out here. I shipped my car, which cost like $1,000 to ship my car out here, but I didn't have anybody to drive with, so, and I needed a car because we weren't living in Venice anymore. We live about a 30-minute bike ride inland, so I was like, no way. I had to save up rent for an apartment out here, and I have been succeeding and thriving and doing well, and I met people. I love it out here. It's amazing. Obviously, Southern California is amazing. It's not like the dream fantasy land anymore to me. It's just more like kind of home to me, and like sometimes I look out at the sunset and I'm like, wow, I live here. This is amazing. But like I said, I put myself in a really, really uncomfortable situation, and I'm so happy that I did that. So if any of you are kind of battling between something similar, maybe it's not moving, but if you're battling between something that you really want to do but you feel like it's scary to you, or you're going to be outside of a comfort zone, or you're not going to be like totally comfortable and stable for a while, I'm telling you to do it anyway. If you want it, you will figure it out. You will figure out a way to do it, and you're never gonna regret it. Like, go check out my what if I fail video, because what's the worst that can happen? You run out of money and you have to go home. Okay, that's fine. There was plenty of times where I was almost out of money and I figured like maybe I can't do this, and there was a couple of times where I was like, I really have no friends, all I do is work, I don't meet people, I'm miserable, I'm tired, I want to go home. I didn't. There's nothing more I can really say about that but to step outside of your comfort zone, because it's changed my life completely. It's made me a completely different person. And when you travel and you meet different kinds of people, you just kind of open up your mind to like so many more different things and opportunities. And I'm kind of rambling. I kind of said the same thing over and over again, but I hope this video helps somebody. Hope you guys relate to it, and give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And one more time, yeah.
There'll be nothing left for no one. For no one.